Everything we've done for the last 16 years has been to get us just to this point.
This is what Summit's all about for us. It's a chance to bring together the technology experts that you can work with to help formulate how to pull off those ideas.
We went from deploying Riv and then OpenStack and then the OpenShift environment.
We wanted to overcome some of the things that we saw as challenges to the speed and rapidity of releasing code, etc. So it made perfect sense, and we were able to do it in a really short space of time.
So here I have taken one of our applications that is used in the hospitality environment. So we have built this for a very large US hotel chain, and it's currently in full swing, brought into production. So like 30% of the global 5,000 plus hotels are on this platform now. So here you can see that we use as a pass, of course, OpenShift. That's the most central piece of our hybrid cloud strategy.
Of the Red Hat OpenShift on top of the HPE Synergy platform. And this not just simplifies the deployment of Red Hat OpenShift, but it also simplifies the container operations, making it scalable, simple, and repeatable, and truly delivering on our promise of a highly automated and orchestrated PaaS environment. But we're not stopping there. We're taking the same automation stack and creating solutions for cloud-native apps, AI, machine learning, as well as even blockchain. Simply put in the requirements for TensorFlow-based ML platform as part of the application manifest, and let the automation take care of the rest from deployment, readiness, and integration.
Over 18 years, and the pace of innovation, the pace of the market demands of innovation just continue to skyrocket. We just announced this week our bare metal validated RefArch for OpenShift on PowerEdge as well. So we continue to find great technologies from Red Hat that we can inject into our infrastructure solutions and provide an end-to-end solution fully supported, fully vetted for our customers.
We also have a new DevOps practice based on OpenShift. Right? As we think about the value that containers will create, we want to enable that deployment inside the organization.
So I know everyone stayed at a Hilton last night, right? If you did, you may have used some of the things I'm about to talk about. So 3 years ago at Hilton, we knew we needed to drive innovation into our platforms to deliver key capabilities such as digital check-in, room selection, digital key on our app, which would allow our guests to bypass the front desk. To enable this innovation, we knew we had to renovate and modernize our platforms. Next step was culture. We enabled teams to work collaboratively together, empowered them to make decisions, and instilled an agile mindset so they can be flexible, nimble, make incremental progress. Having these structure and the culture in place, the next thing we looked at was technology. That's where Red Hat comes in. We used RHEL, Ansible, OpenShift to build out our cloud platform. On top of that, we built common frameworks and reusable instrumentation that allowed us to drive down cost and reduce development time for new services that we were developing. Having the right culture and mindset from the beginning, having executive buy-in, coupled with new tools, technologies like OpenShift, it really became an incredible force to help drive innovation forward and help make us successful. So if you haven't by now, please download our app and use these innovations the next time you stay at a Hilton.
So Kohl's, we're a department store, almost 1,200 stores, 49 states, about $19 billion in revenue. We've got about 1,000-person IT shop, another 2,500 people in managed services around the globe. So big technology footprint. We're based in Wisconsin, outside Milwaukee, but we also have a tech center here in Silicon Valley in Milpitas. And we've just signed on for OpenShift as our PaaS platform and our hybrid cloud effort.
So then explicitly, what are we doing here? Number one, all the IBM middleware is going to be certified on top of OpenShift and RHEL and through Cloud Private from IBM. So that's number one. All the middleware is going to run in RHEL containers on OpenShift on RHEL with all the cloud private automation and deployability in there. Number two, we are going to make it so that this is the complete stack. When you think about from hardware to hypervisor to OS to the container platform to all of the middleware, is going to be certified up and down all the way so that you can get comfort that this is certified against all the cybersecurity attacks that come your way. Three, because we do the certification, that means the complete stack can be deployed wherever OpenShift runs. So that way you give the complete flexibility and you no longer have to worry about that. The development lifecycle is extended all the way from inception to production, and the management plane then gives you all of the delivery and operation support needed to lower that cost. And lastly, professional services through the IBM garages as well as the Red Hat Innovation Labs. And I think that this combination really speaks to the power of both companies coming together and both of us working together to give all of you that flexibility and deployment capabilities across.
Both of these environments need to have an orchestration and management capability. Red Hat's OpenShift provides that capability for these workloads, whether containerized or KubeVirt capabilities with virtual environments. Red Hat OpenShift is designed to take that commercial capability to market. And we've been working with Red Hat for several years now to develop what we call our Intel Select solution. Intel Select solutions are Intel technology optimized for downstream workloads. As we see a growth in a workload, we'll work with a partner to optimize a solution on Intel technology to deliver the best solution that can be deployed quickly. Our effort here is to accelerate the adoption of these type of workloads in the market, working with Red Hat. So now we're going to be deploying an Intel Select solution designed and optimized around Red Hat OpenShift. We expect the industry to start deploying this capability very rapidly.
We migrated a number of customer applications to a production public cloud OpenShift environment. The benefits for our staff were a huge increase in staff satisfaction, reduction in application and platform outage support incidents, risk-free and fail-safe application releases, work-life balance, no more midnight deployments, and our application and infrastructure people could really focus on delivering customer value, not on firefighting. And for our end customers, the people that travel with us, it was actually really simple. We could provide a stable service that allowed for faster releases, which meant we could deliver value faster. In terms of the stats, we migrated 60 production B2C applications to a public cloud OpenShift environment in 12 months. We decreased provisioning time from weeks or occasionally months if we were waiting for hardware to minutes. And we had 100% availability of our key customer-facing systems. But most importantly, it was about people. We built a culture of innovation that was built on a foundation of collaboration, agility, and accountability. And that permeated throughout the IT organization, not just those people that were involved in the project. Everyone within IT could see what good looked like and to see what it looked like in terms of working together. And that was a key foundation for us.
You know, in terms of what we're announcing today, is a new fully managed OpenShift service on Azure. And it's really the first fully managed service provided end-to-end across any of the cloud providers. And it's jointly engineered, operated, and supported by both Microsoft and Red Hat. And that means, again, sort of one service, one SLA, and both companies standing firmly behind it, really, again, focusing around how do we make customers successful. And as part of that, really providing the enterprise-grade, not just SLAs, but also support and integration testing so that you can also take advantage of all your RHEL and Linux-based containers and all of your Windows Server-based containers. And how can you run them in a joint way with a common management stack, taking the advantage of one service and get maximum density, get maximum code reuse, and be able to take advantage of a containerized world in a better way than ever before.
We've invested heavily in OpenShift and OpenStack to build PaaS layers, to build flexible infrastructure for our clients. And we've been working with you. We tested many different technology in the marketplace and been more successful with Red Hat and the stack there. And I'll give you an example. Several large European car manufacturers who have connected cars now as a given have been accelerating the applications that needed to be in the car. And in the past, it took them years, if not quarters, to get an application into the car. And today, we're using OpenShift as the PaaS layer to enable these DevOps for these companies. And they bring applications in less than a month. And it's a huge change in the dynamics of the competitiveness in the marketplace. And we rely on your team in helping us drive that capability to our clients.
An example, today in BBVA Spain, being one of the biggest banks in the country, and using Red Hat technology, of course, our front-end architecture, for mobile and internet channels runs the 95% of our customer requests. This is approximately 3,000 requests per second, and our backend architecture executes 70 million of business transactions a day. This is almost the 50% of total online transactions executed in the country. So. Wow.
To give you an idea of the magnitude of our borders, this is greater than the distance on a highway between Mexico City and Alaska. Our department applies the mechanisms that prevent the entry and residence of people involved in crimes like terrorism, trafficking of persons, weapons, drugs, and others. In 2016, we shifted to a more preventive and predictive paradigm. That is how SAMS, the System for Migration Analysis, was created, with Red Hat's great assistance and support. This allowed us to tackle the challenge of integrating multiple and varied issues, legal issues, police databases, national and international security organizations like Interpol, API, Advanced Passenger Information, and PNR, Passenger Name Record. This involved starting a private cloud with OpenShift, Rev, data virtualization, CloudForms, and Fuse that were the basis to develop SAM, and implementing machine learning models and artificial intelligence.
So for us, it was pretty clear that we should go for an agile approach and immediately start in developing ideas. So we put the best experts we know just in one room and let them start to work. And on day 2, I think we already had the first scribbles for the UI. On day 5, we wrote the first lines of code. And we were able to do that because it has been a major advantage for us to already have a technology stack in place. It's based on open source and especially Red Hat solutions, because we did not have to waste any time setting up the infrastructure.
We've been deploying technology, believe it or not, since we founded the company in 1907. We'll be 111 years old this August. It's just a phenomenal story. Now, prior to Edge, and specifically the SIPE initiative, our operators had to pull information from a number of disparate systems and reports. They then need to manually look across these various data sources. And frankly, it was inefficient and prone to inaccuracy, and it wasn't really real time at all. Now, Edge consumes data, as I mentioned earlier, from 32 disparate systems. It allows our operators to make decisions on staffing, equipment, the flow of packages through the buildings in real time. The ability to give our people on the ground the most up-to-date data, specifically OpenShift, is really core to our cloud strategy and to our DevOps strategy. The tools and environments that we've partnered with Red Hat to put in place truly are foundational, and they've fundamentally changed the way we develop and deploy our systems. I heard Jose talk earlier, we had complex solutions that used to take 12 to 18 months to develop and deliver to market. Today, we deliver those same solutions, same level of complexity, in months and in even weeks. Now, OpenShift enables us to containerize our workloads that run in our private cloud during normal operating periods. But as we scale our business during our holiday peak season, which is a very short window, about 5 weeks during the year, Last year, as a matter of fact, we delivered 762 million packages in that small window. And our transactions, our systems, they just spike dramatically during that period. We think that having OpenShift will allow us in those peak periods to seamlessly move workloads to the public cloud so we can take advantage of burst capacity economically when needed. And I have to tell you, having this flexibility, I think, is key because, ultimately it's going to allow us to react quickly to customer demands when needed, dial back capacity when we don't need that capacity. And I have to tell you, it's a really great story of UPS and Red Hat working together.
What I hope it'll do is allow us to break down the silos within the hospital, because to do the best job at what we physicians do, not only do we have to talk and collaborate together as individuals, we have to take the data each community develops and be able to bring it together. So in other words, I need to be able to bring in information from vital monitors, from MR scans, from optical devices, from genetic tests, electronic health record, and be able to analyze on all that data combined. So ideally, this would be a platform that breaks down those information barriers in a hospital and also allows us to collaborate across multiple institutions, because many disorders, you only see a few in each hospital, so we really have to work as teams in the medical community to combine our data together. And also, I'm hoping that, and we even have discussions with people in the developing world, because they have systems to generate or to create data, or say, for example, an MR system. They create data, but they don't have the resources to analyze on it. So this would be a portal for them to participate in this growing data analysis world without having to have the infrastructure there. It'd be a portal into our back end, and we could provide the infrastructure to do the data analysis.
Really was excited about the merger with CoreOS and the CoreOS capability coming into OpenShift.
I like the idea that ideas are worth exploring, because actually they are, and sort of dreaming and doing is how we're going to take the next step.
And just as we did with RHEL more than 15 years ago, with our partners, we will make hybrid cloud the default in the enterprise. And I will take that bet every single day.
So it's not just about the technology, it's about how people are changing, how people are working to innovate to solve those problems.